G'day guys, Corey Hind, marketing consultant. I hope you're well. So we're going to talk today about a funny concept, which is the whole idea. I'm going to go to the start of should you leave social media? So a friend of mine, Ryan Bidoff, who's a very well-known blogger, posted an article yesterday talking about whether you should or should not leave social media, and it is quite an intriguing idea. I don't think that's necessarily the best bet. However, for small businesses, and you'll note that I've popped here, if you're under 500 grand a year, maybe it is a good idea to leave social media for a while, if not forever. And I'll explain why as we work through these slides. A couple of things I should do. Please do subscribe to the channel. I feel like if I don't say that, I'm not playing the YouTube game, but certainly do subscribe to the channel, Small Business Marketing. That's what we're here for. And do watch to the finish. It's only a short video, but all of these reasons will get you thinking about actions you should be taking in your business anyway. So let's work through it. So this idea of leaving social media, if we look at the next slide, that is a tripod. Okay, on the top of the tripod is your business, and the legs of the tripod are different ways that people could come to your website. Okay, the ways that you're hopefully using your time to build traffic to your website, who then turn into customers. So you've got email over here, you've got the website itself, so content and SEO. Then over here you've got social. So for most biggish businesses, they'll be doing a mix of all those things to drive traffic to their site, amongst some other tasks as well. But for the most part, things will fall into those three categories. All right. Now you will notice that if one of those legs disappears, the whole tripod can fall over. So that's why we say, hey, you want to put effort into all of these things, but maybe for the purposes of this video, I want to prompt you to think about why we might consider leaving social media. Okay. Now, the first point I've got here is, are they great prospects? Funny story. So just yesterday in a business group on Facebook, somebody was asking for help with their Facebook ads. Now, I suggested my friend Stuart. That's his full-time gig. He's a Facebook ads guy. Here's who we use. Here's who we recommend. The person's comment back was, does he charge for that? Does he? And I said, of course he charges. That's his full-time job. And it made me think about how often on Facebook groups, people are out there looking for cheap or free options. And I don't think that's what you want with your business. So this is something to think about. Should I spend more time building traffic to my website rather than social media? Okay, because if somebody picks up the phone and looks for a plumber near me, they're just going to call up, book the plumber, get the job, right? Whereas if they're on Facebook, they might be looking for a free option. Now, I don't think that's what you want for your business, is the tire kickers, the freebie seekers. The next point I've got is with regards to social media is your time management. Now, we all know what Facebook does, and LinkedIn to a lesser extent, and Instagram. You go there for a reason and you start doing other things. So before you know it, you're watching videos, doing other things, talking to your friends, when in fact you had booked that time to do your marketing. So maybe leaving social media for a time, especially for a small business, is a good idea, because you can use that time to sink into other tasks. Now, what are those other tasks? If we go back to that tripod at the start, we had social, we had email, we had your website. What I see for small businesses very frequently is a massive reliance on social media, okay, which is a massive problem. There's no email strategy, there's no email campaigns being used, there's no email communication, the website isn't great. Sometimes I see businesses that don't even have a website, don't use email, they rely on all of their leads to come from social media, which as a marketer is a massive red flag. Okay, so working on your website, working on your SEO, working on your content for your website to get people finding you, get Google sending free traffic to your website, work on your backlinks. Okay, so work on a backlink strategy. That's a great use of your time. So if you delete social media, let's say you deleted it for 3 months and just worked on your website, I think long term, you probably have a better win. The next thing with your website will be clarity. Is your website really, is it really clear what you do and who your ideal client is and what service you provide and what steps they need to take to be a customer? I question that because often it's not the case. What about conversion rate optimization? Can you look at your website traffic, maybe use a product like Hotjar and understand what people do when they come to your website so you can improve that experience and get more people converting through to being customers? That's something you can do with your time if you're not on social media. The next thing you could do in terms of getting off social media is to convert that time into making digital assets that you own. Okay, so a digital asset could be an ultimate guide, a video series, a great big blog article. It could be an infographic. It could be a PDF. It could be an ebook. All of these things help to gain authority for you and drive traffic to your website, but you can't do that if you're always on social media. Okay, just hoping for clients to magically appear. What about your email marketing? I have lots of customers, or I shouldn't say customers because most of them don't pay me anything, but my Facebook group has a lot of small business owners who digest free information, and a lot of them don't use email marketing at all. Okay, so email marketing is a massive return on investment. So if you can get into it, you'll always win. People don't do it because they're spending lots of time creating Facebook content and creating YouTube content, creating LinkedIn content, creating Instagram content, but email marketing could be a much better use of their time. What about converting that social media time into product improvement? Okay, what if you're currently good, but you could be much better? Talk to some customers, engage with them, ask them, how can we make this better? Talk to people, improve. Once you become the best in your game, the very best, people will find you, people will talk, they'll come to your website and they'll turn into customers, and that's a great use of time. What about seeking reviews? I've been in touch with 2 clients today saying that, hey, look, guys, we need to get more Google reviews and more Facebook recommendations because the guys we're competing with are currently beating us in that game. We need to step that up. And the client I talked to just earlier today, I said 1 to 2 reviews per week, and we've got some strategies we use for that. I've got other videos about that. That's a great use of your time because I really believe that in 2021, people believe the internet far, far less than they used to, but they believe other people more and more. So if we're looking at reviews ourselves as we make purchasing decisions, we know that Google is doing that as well. So getting a Google review is a fantastic use of your time. And getting feedback, just generally getting feedback is always good because it gets you talking. What about building alliances? Have you got businesses that you have a similar database to but don't compete with that you can build an alliance with? That's a good use of your time. Get on the phone, talk to some suppliers. How can we help each other? What about guest posting? Writing something from your business perspective for the supplier. That will be a great use of time. What about getting on a podcast? Podcasts are growing in popularity all the time. The smartest marketers on the planet spend a lot of time doing podcasting. Think about customer longevity. How can you build in more longevity with a customer? Can you sell other things to them? Can you get customers back to your business that haven't been around for a while using a reactivation strategy? All of these things you can do once you really think about your time usage and how you can get off social media for the time being and work on other tactics which come from great authors in the past, like Jay Abrahams, who talks about customers and retention and recurring businesses as the driver of a great business. Just remember, as a last slide for this, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thought I'd throw that in. Social is just one small part of the mix. Okay, it is and can be an important part of the mix, but it's just one part of your marketing mix, and it also happens to have the least control. So you don't control who sees your stuff, whereas with email and SEO, you have far more control. So I emphasize that for a small business, maybe it is time to get off social media for a while, work on your SEO, work on your email. Okay, it's never a bad idea to build your email game and work on your SEO because those have long-term impacts on your business, whereas most social platforms are fleeting. They can disappear, the rules can change, and you know that's the case. All right, if there's any questions about the stuff, pop them in the comments below, and I will answer them when I get around to it. All right, have a great day, and we'll talk soon. Bye.